It is March, and that means it is bracket season. And so we here at CBS Sports Golazo have decided to dedicate a 64-team tournament to the mascots of the English Football League. It is Mascot Madness, and Mike Grella, we are through with the round of 64. This is what the bracket looks like. We had a few upsets. We had a 16 beat a 1, and we had 13 seeds get through, and we're running through now into the business end of this bracket.
Nothing gets you more juice than a bracket, especially during March Madness time period, especially the Mascot Madness with all the history and the teams and everything going on. Starting to get close to the business end of this thing now.
Okay, so we're going to start with the upper left quadrant of this bracket, and these are the results that we have seen here. Now, mostly chalk. The upside here was Spitty the dog getting through. That, of course, the mascot for Newport County. Baggy Bird and Boilerman of West Brom getting through. Mr. Bumble in as the 8th seed. The Barnet mascot. What stands out to you here?
Pilgrim P is my favorite, number one.
Yeah.
He's the 2 seed in this bracket in particular. I think interesting, is that West Brom?
Yeah, the 1 seed.
And Boilerman?
Yes.
They allowed to have 2.
I suppose. I mean, yeah, one's got to be the one, one's got to be the man.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how deep they go and see who actually wins it in the end. Both of them can't win.
Oh, of course not.
I don't think.
I mean, or maybe if they win the tournament, then there has to be a separate bracket for dividing the two. Which of the two is more preferable? But we got Ramy that goes through as the 6th seed. That, of course, is Derby County. They are the Rams. Harrogate, their representative, Harry Gator, gets through as the 5, and we mentioned Spitty the dog already. I am partial to Theo the Weavern. I think that's how you say, maybe the Wyvern, because that represents Leyton Orient. That's my team in the EFL. So.
You like Leyton Orient?
Yeah, big Leyton Orient guy. I went and saw them when they were in the 5th tier. They weren't even in the EFL. I wanted to go see them in London.
Wow,
so.
Yeah, good club. A lot of history there, obviously. And then Harry Gator, Harrogate, T-Town, good town. I lived just outside of there for a little while, so good little spot.
All right, so that's the upper left. This has been a fairly chalky portion of the bracket. Only Spitty the dog through as the upset. Now, let's move to the bottom left portion of the bracket now. And this is where we see a few more upsets, particularly that 11 v 14 in the next round. The 3 seed Poacher the Imp going out. Billy Brewer is out as well as the 6th seed. So that means Wadney the Robin of Cheltenham and Boomer the Dog of Port Vale are through as the Cinderella stories in this part of the bracket.
Yeah, Boomer the dog, it just sounds like a winner, right? I don't know how it came in at the 14 seed. Probably going to make a little Cinderella run going forward.
And this is the matchup. So now we get to actually see the 2 mascots here. Wadney the Robin.
Here's Boomer the dog, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Look at the history in this thing, by the way. Look at those eyes of Boomer the dog. He's got the dog in him for sure. And then Wadney the Robin on the other side. Be interesting to see who comes out of this one.
Most of these mascot heads have gone through some battles, have gone through some wars. They're wearing the mud of the pitch on their mascot costume. So here's the 2 versus the 7. This is Rory and Amber. Again, we might have to break up the couple at some point. And then Mighty Mariner of Grimsby. That is a phenomenal mascot on the right side.
Pilgrim Pete and this guy are my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Mighty Mariner. Played a few games there in Grimsby Town as well. Good fish and chips place. Like to see him go deep.
Yeah, Mighty Mariner, I can see him going all the way. The 1 seed in this bracket is Peterborough, of course, representing Peterborough. And so I think that could be a really interesting matchup coming Elite 8 time. Obviously, we might see some upsets along the way, but Mighty Mariner of Grimsby, some pretty solid stuff. As we go now to the upper right portion of the bracket, I have to be honest, this is probably my favorite name for a mascot. The 1 seed here, Krusty the Pie, representing Wigan, gets through to face Billy Bantam of Bradford City. Couple more upsets here. Here we see Krusty the Pie of Wigan. That is absolutely fantastic. But here you see actually the double-digit seeds. Sammy and Mary Saint of Southampton. Southampton representing well in this portion of the bracket. And Rover the Dog of Tranmere Rovers getting through. So those are the 2 double-digit seeds. And we can see Krusty the Pie and his work. There's a lot to like in this section of the bracket.
Yeah, Krusty the Pie as the number 1 seed is interesting for me.
Look at him go.
He's a little bit cheesy for me, Krusty the Pie. I don't know how he gets in at the 1 seed, but we'll see. Yeah, he's busy over this past weekend.
Wigan Athletic, of course, the Laddicks getting through into the next stage of the competition. We see Wigan here, and it seems like a very busy mascot. He's with all the kids, he's hanging out. I don't know. It seems like a mascot that a lot of people can get behind.
He does. Hopefully, he doesn't have to juggle football with him, by the way. But yeah, the kids loving him, and he's got tons of energy, so could go deep.
He's wearing the 8 shirt on the back as well. So a little box-to-box midfielder then? Box-to-box midfielder, Krusty the Pie?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's certainly providing the fun here, doing a little head tennis as well. So some of the other matchups here, we've got Captain Cod against Sammy and Mary Saint, Rockin' Robin and Ruby Robin. We've got a lot of couple here. Now, this is a day in the life of Sammy and Mary Saint. And again, this is a 13 seed that has gotten through, and they're hanging out. It seems like a lot of people like them. You said this to me off air, and you're right. I think the dog mascots are going to go far. People just like a dog.
They do like a dog, and this is Southampton, right? You said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Southampton's an awesome club with a lot of history. They play good football. Look how clean the mascot looks as well. Some of these, that's got to come
into account. A snooker there?
Some of them are crusty, musty, and they've got some history to them. He looks fresher and newer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you ever pick up snooker when you were in England?
Never picked up snooker. No,
yeah.
I never did.
It's like English pool is essentially what it is.
Yeah. The English boys loved it. I never picked up rugby really either, but picked up the golf, the links courses.
Yeah, very nice
stuff. Yeah.
So that is the campaign to vote for Sammy and Mary Saint of Southampton, and then we mentioned Rocky Robin and Ruby Robin of Swindon, Ollie the Ox of Oxford, and Rover the Dog. As we move now to the final section of the bracket, this is where we had our biggest upset, Grella. We had Pottermus and Pottermiss going out as the 1 seed, representing Stoke, Bluey, as the 16 seed are through. And we had 4 double-digit seeds advance in this section. This is where all the upsets are.
Remind me who? Oh, Bluey Barrow. Okay, that's interesting. That is a massive upset, even just in terms of as a club, because not a lot of people will know Barrow, right? Will not know him from being up in the championship for that long.
And then this is Bluey of Ipswich, or multiple Blueys in this section of the bracket. So we have the 16 seed going up against Kingsley of Reading, who did get through as the higher rated seed there. But Ipswich, a town, obviously the big fan base, have got the Ed Sheeran representation there on the shirt as well.
Solid.
So yeah, you'd imagine that like it'll be a popularity contest, obviously. That's what this is, but it goes all the way to the end.
Kingsley's a little bit cooler, though, if I have
my say
here, and I could understand here. But this is the Cinderella story here at the 16 seed Bluey. So how they keep that thing so fresh and so white, credit to them. But I like Kingsley.
Good dry cleaning department there. And then we've got Clarence the Dragon taking on Reggie as the 5 against the 13. Bluey the Bluebird of Barrow taking on Jude the Cat. That is 11 against the 14. And Rex the Dragon of Wrexham. You'd have to imagine Wrexham just on a popularity basis. There he is. There's Rex. Yeah. I don't know. Are you convinced by the actual mascot costume? I don't know if Harry the Hornet is class.
Harry the Hornet, yeah. I mean, that's Troy Deeney land, right?
Yeah.
In Watford there. I think he's got Troy's boots on, actually. Harry the Hornet's awesome. I love it. Rex the Dragon, though, you wonder with the popularity of Wrexham and everything that it brings to it. I actually like the mascot. I actually like Rex the Dragon. I think it's cool because it's not your prototypical, like, loud, aggressive dragon. It looks like a friendly, friendly dragon. And actually, he's got a good pair of boots on. Little copas there, so it looks like he has a bit about him. I would imagine they would make it deep. They would probably get into the Final Four.
I think that famous Troy Deeney moment for Watford, Harry the Hornet is somewhere in the background, if I remember correctly. So that is why I remember him so fondly. But there he is as the number 2. Now, a reminder. The voting will carry on for the second round of Mascot Madness, and it will all take place on the CBS Sports Golazo Instagram. Post the pictures of the 2 mascots. There'll be a voting option there on the Instagram page, and you can pick which is your preferred mascot. So again, we're in the second round. We've got a long way to go here in Mascot Madness. And a reminder that voting starts on Friday. Check our Instagram stories to register your vote. That is the second round update of Mascot Madness.